Hey, what's up, everybody? Hot 1079 and, of course, HIP-HOPWIRED.com. Man, what a treat, man. My good friend Jermaine Dupri. We like 25 years in, you know what I'm saying?
Longer than that.
Yeah, no, for real. We done parties together, kicked it, got a lot, you know what I mean, when it comes to, man, so deaf stuff, man. It's just, I think when I got to Atlanta personally, you were like one of the first phone calls I got. No, on social media, you hit me and you were like, yo, congratulations.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So it's always been good to support you any way possible, and you know what I'm saying, like anything we can do to help you, and the amazing things that you've done for this city and for hip hop period are just always seem like they come full circle and create these moments.
Yeah.
Like this soundtrack, man. This soundtrack, Stars has picked it up 5 episodes, August 15th.
Yeah.
Something that's near and dear to your heart, Magic City.
Yeah, near and dear to everybody's heart. Yeah.
What is explain the, like, if people don't understand, and a lot of people from other places don't understand, like, strip club culture in Atlanta is really mainstream for the most part. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, New York doesn't have strip clubs the way Atlanta does. You know what I'm saying? Miami maybe a little taste, but it's not Atlanta. Like, kind of explain to everybody, like, the difference between Atlanta strip clubs and everybody else, and what's the significance with popular culture, because people have staff meetings at Magic City.
Yeah, I think like Tip just said a minute ago, he said, I think one word is just culture. I think like the thing about it is like, people don't want to look at it as a cultural thing for some reason, and that's why I wanted to do this documentary. That's why I wanted to do the Freaknik documentary, so people could start paying attention to Atlanta culture. If you ask somebody about LA culture, they're gonna tell you about Dickies, they're gonna tell you about Cortez, they're gonna tell you about lowriders, they're gonna say Compton, they're gonna say Watts, they're gonna say all of these things. That's the cultural, you know, Crips and Bloods, all of this thing is like the LA culture. When you talk about Atlanta, a lot of times when people bring up Atlanta, they don't talk about the culture because they kind of feel like strip clubs are kind of looked at like,
like being risque or not.
So it's left out, but it's ultimately, it's just the culture. It's a thing that we go on the day shift, we go night shift, we go just to holler at people, we go to have meetings, we go to kick it, we go to celebrate. It's just the spot that basically is there for all things.
Right.
You know?
Kind of reading the description, and I know we're going to talk about the soundtrack, but actually for the 5-part series, it's like, how do you make, I was wondering how they were going to do it. You know, obviously they want it to be tasteful, they want it to be gratuitous, but at the same time, you have to show nudity if you're talking about a strip club. I mean, that's what it is. Did you get a chance to preview it before you said, I need this for inspiration, or was it like you had a concept in your mind? Did you get a chance to watch it beforehand and preview it?
Well, I mean, we showed the doc. We showed the first episode of the doc at South by Southwest last year.
Right.
And that's how basically the deal came about with Stars. And that's what happens. You take, you know, if you do a documentary, you do something, you go to South by Southwest and show it, and with hopes that one of the companies will pick it up and do something with it, and that's what happened with it. So in the first episode, I mean, you know, I think I did Freaknik last year as well, and people felt like Freaknik, they didn't see enough what they thought they was gonna see. Everybody thought they was gonna see their moms and this, that, and the third. And I was telling people that wasn't really what it was about. And I think a lot of the younger people were more or less like let down with Freaknik because they didn't see all the crazy ignorant stuff that was going on. Magic City, I don't think they're gonna be let down. You know what I mean?
I don't.
It's you know, it's interesting to me because I'm watching. I'm like, damn, Stars, y'all really, you know what I mean? But I saw a commercial the other night, and Stars is running with this is the home of where the adults. This is where the adults live. This is where the adults play. So it's turning into an adult channel. So you know, you see titties and ass, and ain't nothing. That's what it is.
August 5th. Well, you know, I know a lot of people want to see. To your point, they want to see how they take that and they make a documentary out of it.
Yeah.
Something I was reading, and one of the things, and we've discussed this kind of offline, that I thought was really cool is you've been on the forefront of letting people into your studio and you making beats in the Akai and pulling out, you know, old discs and loading up, you know, tracks and sounds and stuff, which a lot of people don't understand. Like, that's a really lost art form. But as far as this soundtrack is concerned, you've shown people, like, in the studio actually working, letting them in, like, oh, damn, like, I saw YF and Lucci in there last week. Like, that's an amazing look. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But this opportunity for you, and a lot of people are probably wondering why you picked certain people, not only Atlanta artists, but you actually took it upon yourself. One of your goals was to make a soundtrack and work with artists from Atlanta you've never had a chance to work with?
Yeah, that people probably thought I did work with. Like the first single, Turnaround, is me and Tip, Dro, 2 Chainz. I never had a record with any of them. You know what I mean? And when I tell people that's not from Atlanta, they like, man, what?
Yeah.
I thought y'all been had. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I feel like as a producer that's been in the game as long as me, you got to find that thing that you know, gives you that inspiration to want to make new music. And the fact that I haven't had records with these guys and I want hits from these guys, that's pretty much my, you know, that's pretty much my idea. Just like I want to have those names in my discography as well. Now
that I think about it, you don't have records with any of those guys. You know what I mean? You would automatically assume that you did, even with Tip.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's amazing. So let me ask you, like, what are your top 3 strip clubs of all time in Atlanta?
Gentleman's Club.
Okay.
Magic City. And the Gold Club. And the Gold Club, you know, the 2, Gentleman's Club and the Gold Club, they both got, you know, they got taken out.
Right.
But these clubs were at this time period, and it's only because I think the Gentleman's Club took off because Magic caught on fire and burnt down. And I also wasn't old enough to get into Magic at a time period when Magic City was at its height.
Right.
And Dominique Wilkins and all of these guys was in there. I wasn't old enough to get in the club, so I missed that era. And then it was like a new club for, I guess the young, you know, at that point in time I was a younger guy, and I was trying, you know, going to whatever the club was, and the Gentleman's Club was that club. So yeah, the Gentleman's Club, Magic City, and the Gold Club for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your top 3 strip club records for you, or just the ultimate from experience? Like, you remember the night that they played record 1, 2, and 3 in the club that you knew when you heard it in the strip club that it was like, oh shit, that's out of here?
I was just talking about that. I mean, I think, you know, paying homage to where you come from, Memphis, Ball and G, and your crew, lay it down. That was my inspiration behind Turnaround. It was like, this record. I mean, when I sampled the beat, I wasn't thinking that Dro was gonna put that hook on there, so I didn't think that we was gonna go in that direction. I just was making the beat by myself, so I didn't know what was gonna happen. But to go in that direction, that song definitely was one of the songs that I remember going to the Gentleman's Club and hearing that song every time I was in there, like 2-3 times a night. And then 400 Degrees. Like, you see me, I eat, sleep, talk rap. See that 98 Mercedes on TV, I bought that.
Right.
I felt like he was talking to me.
Sure.
Like, it felt like this is my song.
In that moment in time, it was what was happening. And let me tell you, coming out hard. I mean, I don't have to tell you. I just did some cuts on Ball and MJG's new project yesterday.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, they called me and were like, "Hey, can you come do some cut?" Hell yeah! Like, I'm there. Like, it's just, you get those calls. It's just certain people that paint that picture for that period of time. Coming out hard, 93, 94. At Juvenile 400 Degrees, like it's still heavy rotation in my car right now. You know what I mean?
And then the Jeezys, the Jeezy Trap or Die mixtape period, the whole tape.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was a period of time when the strip club was just like the ultimate spot when that mixtape came out.
Yeah.
You could see me in that strip club damn near every day.
I'm glad, and I tell you this when you first let me hear the record, that I'm glad you made a record with tempo, and a lot of it has to do with, you know, it's the time of year, it's the strip club, lay it down, it does have tempo, but even Tip's verse, he's got the, you know, the pimp type, the MJG flow to it. I'm glad that you came with a record with some tempo. Obviously, there's a lot of other things on the album. You know, y'all leaked some stuff on Luda in the studio with you, which is crazy. Sean Paul from Youngbloods. Who else can we look for on it?
I mean, well, first of all, I want to say that this is the first album, I think, in hip-hop where a producer takes all the artists from the city and makes an album. This don't have nobody on it except for Atlanta business.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's Travis Porter, you know, Tip, Luda, 2 Chainz, Dro, Killer Mike, Big Boy, Akeem Ali.
Okay, wow.
The next single got Barnaby and Bankroll Naya on it together.
Wow.
J Money, Sean Paul, Lucci, all Atlanta. You know what I mean? Quavo. I know I'm forgetting somebody, but you know what I mean. It's in that space, and that's all it is. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make sure I make, like I said, ultimately I'm making records with people. I never made a Travis Porter record before.
Yeah.
And they got a crazy one. You know?
I mean, I'm sure. And as you were naming people, I totally forgotten about a couple. I remember the visuals from you in the studio, and I'm glad you're documenting like that to share, because it not only lets people inside of your process, but it also shows people like, you're for real. So when you make these records as a soundtrack, and your process is probably done a couple of different ways. Do you say, this is a record for Travis Porter, or do you say, this is what I'm working on, or how do you do it? You do it a couple of different ways?
I mean, sometimes I do it like that, but majority of the times I make a beat, I already be thinking like the person that's coming, they not gonna like the beat, and that's just my theory. So I usually just wait till they get there, and we just start cooking up based on what's happening.
Yeah.
And like Lucci, I never been in the studio with Lucci, so when he got there, the first beat that I thought he was gonna like, he was like, I need it to be a little bit more melodic, and then, like I said, it was my first time working with him, so
right.
that's what, and that's what I want people to see. That's how you're supposed to be in the studio. You can't make people do something that they don't want to do, and you want them at their best, right? So I wanted him to be in his best space, so I tried to find what he wanted me to do.
Damn. I never really thought of it like that, though. You know what I mean? Because I've met him a couple of times. He seems like a pretty soft-spoken guy, but he has a very different flow when it comes to his records.
Yeah, and he had an idea of what he heard and what he thought we should do.
Yeah.
And as a producer, like I said, I'm just trying to make sure that I get out of him what I want, and he got to get out of me what he's looking for as well.
You was a DJ yourself, and you've done Vegas, overseas, small clubs, big clubs, all kinds of stuff. Strip clubs, does the strip club still break records?
100%. 100%. I mean, I think that what people don't understand is that, like I said, the idea of it still has to be marketed. Right. Like a mixtape. Mixtapes was breaking records before the world knew mixtapes was breaking records, and then it was some light shined on the mixtape game, and then from Clue turned drama, and you know what I mean, and however many other people was like, the mixtape game had light. And then people start realizing, like, oh, Clue was putting this rapper on his mixtape for the last 5 months. Oh, that's fabulous. Right. Oh, damn. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's the same type of thing. You might hear records in Magic that you don't know who's rapping. Yeah. You don't know what's going on. But if you hear it 3, 4, 5 times, your memory is, that's that song I heard at Magic.
Right.
Oh, wow, I heard it playing it. It's on the radio now? You know what I'm saying? So it's still that connection, heavy.
I remember a long time ago, I came to Atlanta on a weekend, and Lil Jon picked me up when he had the brown Suburban with no back seat in it. You know what I'm saying? The original 112, we got in it like super late. Heard Young Bud Shake 'Em Off. Yeah. That record was so crazy. Sonically, it's so crazy. Yeah. Next night, I heard it at 559. Then I heard it somewhere else. And, obviously we weren't playing it in Memphis, but it was just like, it was resonating so much because at that point in time, you know what I mean? Like, that's where records were broken in the club before.
Yeah, I mean, and that's also where DJs, you don't need permission in the strip club to play music. So if you're a DJ in the strip club, this is the space that you actually prefer because you don't have nobody over your shoulder telling you, play this. Besides the girls do want to hear what they want to hear, but at the same time, you have the ability to break a record in the strip club.
So it's on Stars on the 15th, 5-part docu-series, Magic City. And so what is are you doing visuals for as much as you can, or what's the plan when you release it?
It's a typical rollout. I mean, ultimately this is a new Jermaine Dupri album. I'm just not rapping as much as I would rap on all my other albums, but I mean that's what this basically is. This is a new Jermaine Dupri album, basically, like just with all Atlanta business. And the next single we shooting a video July 7th. It's called Magic City Money. And it's featured J Money, Sean Paul, Burna B, and Bankroll Naya.
Wow. All right, we got to make sure you're there for that one. You don't want to miss any of the filming.
I said we're gonna do a block party. It's gonna be outside. It ain't gonna be the strip.
That's what's up. Well, we got to make it a move. We got to make sure the thousands out there in true Atlanta fashion. Magic City, the American Fantasy, August the 15th. Man, Jermaine Dupri, of course. Look, think of it as a Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, man, listen, I'm so excited about this. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just such a fan of not just a student of music and still a DJ and a radio programmer, but it's just like, I think this is a brilliant idea for you because nobody's going to tell you no.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
maybe, but you got a couple people who won't answer the phone. But I mean, like I said, that's another thing. I wanted people to see the process, all the artists even. I wanted them to see the process because I want people to be like, yo, I want to get on that soundtrack. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's a bunch of people that I'm still trying to figure out where they go and what we do, and I'm trying to make it happen.
So tell me one artist has called you like, yo, man, you not going to fuck with me on this, man?
Scrappy. And I actually called Scrappy, but he was gone. He was out of town the day that I called him, and then he got back. And I guess he felt like I wasn't gonna put him on. I was like, man, I called you 3 days ago.
Okay.
Now I'm doing something else, but I'm, Scrappy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you. I'm definitely putting Scrappy on there.
That's what's up, man. Well, look forward to it, man. Appreciate your time as always. We got your support 100%, man. Shout out HIP-HOPWIRED.com, Hot 1079. And let me ask you, are y'all gonna do it? You gonna do a premiere for the for the first?
We're gonna do a premiere for a preview party of the first episode.
You got to do it at Magic, right?
Well, I think, but I don't know if Magic is big enough for as many people that's gonna try to go. We gotta try to find somewhere else.
We take Magic to
Magic's the after party.
Yeah, you can take it and show it at. We take a Magic to Atlantic Station.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate your time, man.
For sure,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.